So I've got on the line the amazing Lucy Spraggan. Most people know you, Lucy, from the X Factor, but there was a Lucy Spraggan way before that, wasn't there?
Yeah, I've been doing music for a very, very long time, and playing shows a long time before the X Factor. I actually played my first show when I was 12 years old.
Really? Blimey.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I played at a thing called Crouch Tramway Festival, which was a tram festival, so it's like highly, highly exciting.
I bet that was great. I'd love to have been there, I tell you.
Well, I was 12, so I was a bit rubbish as well.
Oh, I don't believe you. Listen, July 2011, that's the first sort of time I've got real history about you. You were announced as runner-up of the Urban Pop and Acoustic category of Live and Unsigned.
Yeah.
That went. How old were you then? Because gosh, you were very old, were you?
I think I was 18 or 19. I was 19 when I auditioned for the show, so it aired when I was 20, I think. Yeah, because it's been 7 years. I'm 27 now.
Gosh.
So time has been flying, but yeah, I feel like I was pretty young then.
I was going to say, because I mean, you got prizes awarded for that, including festival slots at Ozfest and a slot in an Australian Go Connect concert.
Well, I was promised that.
Right.
And I never ended up getting that, but that's very good on the research front that they still have that prize on there. I never got to go to Australia, but however, before that, in 2010, I went and toured America when I was 18. That was before that competition. I went to America for 3 months. I did 32 states. 42 states. 32 states. Yeah.
Blimey. That took some doing, didn't it, at that age? I mean, that's a real commitment.
Yeah, I just knew what I wanted to do, and I just went and did it. And I saved up money working, and just left. I always wanted to do music, so.
I mean, that's always been the desire. You didn't really want to carry on selling photographs.
Well, I went to college. I went to the University of Derby to do public services because I wanted to be a firefighter.
Really?
And then, yeah, I studied for 2 years. And then, when I left, I was a demolition operative, and I fell off a building. This is a really long story, so I'm going to cut it short. But I was on a cherry picker and it fell from the 4-story building, and I broke my leg, and I've got a weight bearing injury on my knee. So it threw the firefighting thing out the window. So then, so then I was like, right, I'm gonna do music like 100%. So there's videos of me doing shows at Live and Unsigned with like a cage on my leg from my ankle to my hip from my knee injury.
Oh, very becoming.
Yeah. I had to wear shorts on stage as well, like right up my street.
Oh, lovely. So we get to the X Factor thing, and I mean, the one thing I've got to say about the whole of that was that you were one of the few acts ever to do your own music on there, and also to almost have a hit before you even appeared.
Well, it was. I'd released my album before I went on. Like, I'd released EPs and albums in the past, and then, yeah, I went on there. I think it was just me and Chico. I think he did Chico Time, didn't he?
Yes.
For the only people that made up their own songs. So I was the first person in 10 years to have done that. And then I wouldn't have done it if I had to do covers, because it's just not what I do. So, yeah, it was funny. It was good.
Now, the one thing I did love about it, I mean, I actually watched that show when you came out, and it was the fact everybody did exactly the same, and that was, what? Because that song was absolutely brilliant. It was so totally different to anything else that was on the show at the time. Were you conscious of that fact?
No. To be honest with you, I went on the show and I knew the audition was in an arena, so I knew that like at least 3,000 people would see me do my song, and that would, maybe I'd get some more likes on Facebook. And then it turned out it happened quite differently to that.
Just a bit. Now that song Last Night, which as I say, I thought was brilliant, and I know a lot of other people thought was just so different and so cool. There was a comparison made in a sort of with us older chaps, to a guy called Jake Thackeray. I don't know.
Right.
Have you ever heard of him?
No, I haven't, but I'll have to look him up.
It's not
because
it's just a phrasing of the way you sort of sang the song. It's very reminiscent of that kind. He was around in the 60s. I mean, it was never had hits or anything.
I like any kind of, like Louis said on my audition. I remember him saying, "You're like a young Victoria Wood," and I actually didn't know about Victoria Wood at the time, so I looked up Victoria Wood and was like, "This woman, oh my god!" And like I've been a massive fan ever since. So I was like good comparisons. It's really nice.
Oh, well, that's good. No, it's a very good one. I hope. Have a look, Jake Thackeray. See what you think. Now you know that song got everybody on their feet. They were all shouting for more, and even Simon was sort of going, "Wow!" And you then sort of basically did the whole business with a very, very different cover version of Halo. Which once again was excellent. I love it when people do that. They sort of turn it round and make it their own. But unfortunately, you didn't go all the way, which you should have done, I reckon, through ill health.
Well, I got to the third week of the live final thing, and yeah, I wasn't very well, and I left. But if you fast forward 7 years from then, I've released 4 albums since then, which means that's 5 albums in total. They've all been top 20 albums, and like my last one I released 2 weeks ago, number 12. I'm signed to Cooking Vinyl now.
Yes.
It's great. Like people are like, "Oh, you should have stayed on," but I didn't. It's very hard world to deal with. That like,
yeah.
X Factor TV world is crazy. I'm not sure that I would have survived mentally if I'd have stayed there for much longer. So for me, like everything in life absolutely happens for a reason without regret. And I'm really happy with the way it all turned out.
I'm not surprised because it's been a very positive thing for you. I mean, as you say, you have released albums, you have had chart singles without the sort of X Factor factory, which I think is absolutely brilliant.
I just think it damages a lot of people in a lot of ways. So like you see a lot of people just fall from a great height because they haven't got any sort of integral support. So I'm really happy to be like surrounded by good people and like just good fans, and like, yeah, we just built up a fan base. It's great.
Lovely. Now the other single which I thought was incredibly good was Unsinkable. That was April 2015, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, a long time ago, yeah.
But that was once again a very, very clever lyric single. Where do you get your inspiration from for your lyrics? Because they're not sort of normal. Sorry, but I can't think of another way of saying that.
I like that. No, they're not normal. Neither am I. I for that particular song, I was walking down the street and it was raining, and I've kind of felt like when it rains, it feels sometimes my mood is really affected by the weather, and I feel like I could drown sometimes. I feel like the water's going to rise around my ankles and then up to my knees and go deeper and deeper, and I'm just going to fall into that. And then I got this idea in my head, and I was just walking along, I thought, we are unsinkable. And that's where that came from. I wanted to, double entendres, so it's like metaphors about the sea, but also it being about life. So yeah.
Okay. Do you find
it comes out of nowhere, to be honest with you?
I was going to ask that. Do you find that you have to sit down somewhere and think, right, I'm going to write a song now, or do you just suddenly get this bang? Hey, that'll make a song.
Yeah, no. If I do sit down, no, it doesn't. I end up playing on the PlayStation or something. I can't got the attention span of a child. So,
how about writing with other people? You ever fancied doing that?
Yeah, I write with other people quite a bit. Had some cuts on some cool songs, and like, you know, you guys are out in Spain. There was a song called "Give Me Sunshine" which I did with Riva Starr, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He did the Eat, Sleep, Rave, Repeat song. Like I like writing with other people. It's fun. It's good, and I've co-written quite a few tracks in my time.
Now you've just finished a tour, haven't you, with Melissa Etheridge?
Yeah, I came off tour with Melissa in, when was that? hang on, what month is it? Came off tour in April, and then I did some shows in the States in April, some headline shows in America, and then I came back and did some European shows, and then I did a UK tour, which I just finished, and now I have a show in Austria, and then I'm going back on tour in America for the whole of June.
Now, you do a lot of work out in the States. Do they? I can't think of any other way of saying it. Do they get you? Because you're very English.
Well, Americans really do love the British accent, and I think that's a saving grace. Although everybody thinks I'm Australian because I'm Northern. They're like, "Are you from Australia?" And I'm like, "Nah, you just never heard Northern people." So, but yeah, no, they get it. I think they like music. Do you know what's about the UK? We are engaged a lot in the way people look, what people wear, their sort of like persona, and how they interview, and scandals and stuff. Even when it comes to musicians, and I feel like America's a bit more like, oh, there's some good music, gonna listen to that. Do you know what I mean? So it's good.
They appreciate the music more than there is one thing I always think in Britain, that the press and the media love to build you up, only to destroy you again as quickly as possible.
Back down again.
Yeah.
No, we have. It is quite exceptional to us as well, and I don't think as a nation we realise that our teardown culture is so British and negative, and like being in the sort of public eye, it's like it really does help you to like fast track learning that. We have a very, very particular kind of culture, and it's not one that I've experienced across Europe or America.
No, it's very different here in Spain. The single that we've been playing, Lucky Stars, which once again I think is absolutely excellent.
Thank you.
That's from the album Today Was a Good Day.
Yes, indeed.
And when you came to create that album, was it the same as the ones you've done in the past, or do you feel as though you sort of developed so much more now that you're taking in different influences?
I don't know. Well, I listen to all kinds of different music, so like I guess that always will have an effect on what I write and play. So probably that. But I just think as you grow older, there's a natural progression when it comes to music, and I guess the sound just changes with the maturity of my albums, I suppose.
Yeah.
And me, I guess. Not that I'm mature, because I'm not.
Yeah, I was going to say no. Don't ever grow up. It's a trick. It's a terrible trick.
That's my new my motto is that I'll grow old, but I won't ever grow up.
Good for you. Now you're off, as you say, on tour again soon. Any plans to come down this sort of area? Because we're a bit starved of classics.
We did a couple of Spanish shows, but it was Madrid, and I can't remember where else we played. But
probably Barcelona.
Yes, it was. But yeah, I mean, I think it'd be quite fun because obviously there's a lot of like British people. It could be quite fun to do something in the sun in the summer. I'd love that.
Oh, you wouldn't like it in the summer? It's too hot.
Is it? I'm a bit sunburny as well, so I'm not sure about that then.
Well, they're talking 40 odd next week.
No, absolutely not.
Look, just one more thing, and then I promise I'll let you go because I know you're busy.
It's so good.
just when you were in the X Factor, were you aware of the amount of people that you'd suddenly reached?
No. Apart from like I woke up the next day, like as you said, I used to work in the street selling baby photos with a clipboard, and so like my entire day was being ignored by people and just people walking past me. That was my job. And then the next day I was like my neighbours were in my front garden. Hi Lucy, how are you? I was like, what? And then walking down the street, Lucy, how's it going? I was like, whoa. And so there was a degree of that. Like I went shopping in Meadowhall and got mobbed, like properly mobbed. And the security had to come and get me. They said, you can't come to Meadowhall anymore unless you call ahead. I was like, okay. And so yeah, there was a degree of that, but it really, like, it's nice nowadays for people, because I still, people will still say, "Oh, you're Lucy off the X Factor," and I'm like, amongst other things.
Yes.
But it's nice to be recognised in that capacity, and it's nice to be recognised this far onwards, because I know a lot of people that aren't. So
brilliant.
Good.
Well, Lucy Spraggan, thank you so much for taking time out to talk to me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Very much. Thank you. Enjoy your 40-degree heat.
I will suffer.
Yeah, it
in the
sounds
pool.
like it.
With a
Very
mojito.
much. Oh, yeah.
Thanks a lot, and all the best for the
Cheers.
future. See you soon, hopefully.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.